Hey Falcons, Mrs. Pfeiffer here for week 3, part 1. The past 2 weeks um, we've talked about fact and opinion, and this week we're going to switch things up a little bit. So you're probably like, finally something different. So this week we're going to be working on character traits, and we're going to be reading one of my favorite stories. We are going to be reading A Bad Case of Stripes. It's one of my favorite stories, and it's a perfect story to talk about character traits. If you don't know what that is, stick around because you're going to hear more about that. Sorry, I dropped my flashcard. So in this first video, we're going to review from the last 2 weeks to make sure you didn't forget that stuff. Then we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about, we're going to go over our vocabulary words before we start our story. And then we will talk about character traits. I have a really cool thing for you to describe. So before we start all the character trait stuff, let's review last week. Last week and the week before, we talked about fact and opinion, and we said facts are, what's a fact? Tell someone that you're with. So if you said a fact is something that's true and can be proven, you're correct. Now, an opinion is how we think or feel about something. So last week you were writing your opinion piece on what animal teeth you wanted, right? So I hope if I didn't get yours, make sure you send it my way. You can send it to my email, my school email, or you can post in the comments below. And remember, if you forget, go back to the video, okay? So this week, we're going to talk all about character traits, and character traits are one of my favorite things to teach. So character traits are describing a character's personality or how they look. So there are two types of character traits. There's personality traits, so how the character is thinking and feeling, or there are physical traits, how they look, what outfit they're wearing, what color's their hair, do they wear glasses, are they tall, are they short? So you are going to learn all about that this week. Now, I have something for you that we're going to practice a little bit of character traits. Now, I'm going to give you some background information. This was a gift from my husband's grandma before she passed away last year, and she was a really cool lady. So she was just fancy and had this really cool style, and sometimes it's not really quite my style, but but it was really cool still. And she was bright and colorful, and she would have been a perfect person to describe as for character traits. She would have been a lot of fun to describe. But she left us this gift, and there are many ways that we can describe this character trait. And I'm going to have you come up with 3 right away. And some of you maybe look at this and you're like, others, you might laugh. Yeah, you might think it's a little strange, but that's okay. Because I kind of think it's a little strange too. But she gave us this as a gift because she got it for my husband when he was really little, and she saved it all these years. So it's actually glass, and it's kind of heavy. So it's this glass clown. Do you see that? Okay, so we're going to describe. I'm going to see if he'll sit. Let's put him over here. Okay. We're going to describe this guy right here, this little character. Okay, and we're going to describe him physically. We're going to do his physical, because we obviously don't know. He's not a character in a story, so we obviously don't know his personality traits. Well, we kind of do, because we know how clowns act. So we can come up with a little bit of both. So I want you right now to tell someone that you're with, or if you can, still not sure if you can, comment below and tell me some character traits. What does he look like? What colors do you see? Clowns, they have certain character traits, like they're silly or funny. Some of you might think clowns are creepy or strange, and that's okay. So come up with 3 character traits. And I'm going to come up with some too. So I'll wait till you come up with some. You might see his yellow hair, crazy yellow hair, his big bow tie, yellow bow tie. He's got blue buttons. He's got a green hat, red nose. Okay, did you come up with 3? I hope so. All right, so I'm going to come up with some physical traits. I'm going to try to write them on the board back here so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to say that of a personality trait that I feel like clowns' personality traits are they're funny. Oh man, I always grab the marker that doesn't work. They're funny. Some people think they're creepy. And let's see, another personality trait. Silly. Silly and funny are kind of similar, but they're silly. Okay, so this clown is funny, creepy, and silly. That's his personality traits. Now let's come up with some physical traits. So what does this clown look like? So I'm going to say he has a green hat. So when I'm doing personality or physical traits, physical means what they appear to look like on the outside. So we need to make sure we're looking and seeing and describing them so in case like to describe them for someone that might not be able to see it. Okay? So green hat, yellow hair. I'm going to say large yellow hair because it's big. Large yellow hair and a big bow tie. Okay, so those are character traits. It's describing our character, the little clown over here. Okay, he's funny looking guy, huh? All right, so that's what we're going to be doing in our story this week. We're going to be describing the main character, and you'll find out all about the main character in the next video. But we're going to read A Bad Case of Stripes, and we're going to talk all about that character and her physical and personality character traits. Now, before we do that, I want to go over some vocabulary words with you. Let me turn around here. Okay, so we have 5 vocabulary words this week. And this week, your task with these vocabulary words, you can always do what we did before where we put in an we put them in ABC order, and then we also we gave clues. We played that clue game. But this week I'm going to add to that. So you're going to come up with some movements like I always do. So I'm going to come up with some movements. I'll show you some movements for the words because I always do. But I want you to come up with some different movements and share them with your family or friends. Okay? So the first word is drowsiness. Can you say drowsiness? Drowsiness. Now, drowsiness means you're really sleepy or tired. You're like, you can't keep your eyes open. You're so tired. So when we think of the word drowsiness, I want you to go, oh, drowsiness. Do that with me. Oh, drowsiness. All right, very good. Our next word is bizarre. Can you say bizarre? Bizarre. And bizarre means something very weird or strange. So bizarre means something very weird or strange. So when we say the word bizarre, we're going to make that look like that's weird. Can you make that look for me? Bizarre. Bizarre. Okay. The next word is heaping. Can you say heaping? Not keeping. It's with the H at the beginning. Heaping. 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 And heaping means a big pile or a mound. You could have a heaping pile of French fries. So do that with me. Heaping. Heaping. A huge pile of something. So I would love a heaping pile of French fries. Okay, our next word is fretting. Can you say fretting? And fretting means you're worried or anxious about something. You're worried or anxious about something, or the character is worried or anxious, so they're fretting or fret, to fret. So if you're, say the word fretting for me. Okay, so fretting, when we do that, we're gonna go fretting. Can you do that with me? Fretting. Right, so fretting means you're worried or anxious about something. And our last word is examine. Can you say examine? Now, examine means to inspect or investigate something. Can you say examine? Very good. So when we are saying the word examine, we're going to go examine, examine. Do that with me. Examine, examine. Very good. So there's our words. Let's go over them one more time. So we have examine, examine, examine. Very good. We have fretting, fretting, fretting. We have heaping, heaping, heaping. We have bizarre, bizarre. And then we have drowsiness. So those are our words. If you need to go back through and pause them because I can't stick them on the wall, remember, go ahead and do that. And you can pause them, write them down, so you can put them in ABC order. Now, what I want you to do with those words is you can put them in ABC order. You can play the clue game like we did the last 2 weeks, or you can come up with motions like I did, like drowsy, things like that. Okay? Come up with some different motions. Don't do all the ones that I do. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to actually read the story, Bad Case of Stripes. And, like always, we'll be asking questions while we read and things like that. And then the third video is going to be an activity we'll do together about the actual character traits of the main character. So I hope to see you then. Bye.